We need to settle this debate once and for all. Index funds or mutual funds? Which ones are actually gonna make you rich? If you're stuck choosing, this video is exactly for you. Today, we're talking about the two most talked about investing options for beginners and which ones actually help you get rich faster. So if you're confused about which ones actually help you build wealth faster, this is definitely for you. Most beginners think they should just pick whatever their employer offers or whatever looks good in their 401k plan and hope for the best. But that's exactly why so many people feel stuck, feel disappointed, because no one explains the real difference in a way that actually helps you choose. I'm going to break down the 5 things that matter most when deciding between index funds and mutual funds so you can feel confident, skip the overwhelm, and take action today. When I was starting out, I wasted time and money on the wrong funds because no one explained it like this. And let's change this for you. I've helped thousands of beginners build investing systems that actually work, and this breakdown is what I wish I had when I started. Welcome back, Rich Chicks, or if you're new here, I'm Taylor Price, and this is Priceless Tay, your favorite financial literacy platform helping you thrive, not just survive. When you hit that subscribe button, you join this rebellion where all your excuses die, your money thrives. So before we dive in, make sure to smash that like button if you're all about passive income and financial freedom. Let's start with the first thing that trips most people up. Just getting started. Index funds. You can buy them directly through almost any brokerage app like Vanguard, Fidelity, Schwab. It's simple, low minimums, and zero hassle. You choose the fund, set it up once, and it's hands-free. Mutual funds, a little trickier. Some require higher minimum investments like $1,000, $3,000, or even $5,000 just to get in. And depending on the fund, you might have to go through specific platforms or jump through extra hoops to set it up. So if you're a beginner looking for an easy setup and no barriers, index funds most definitely win this round. And if you take anything from this, the easier you make it to start, the faster you'll actually invest instead of just thinking about it. But here's the part most beginners totally just miss. It's not about just getting started, it's about what actually quietly drains your money after you start. Here's what you need to know. Fees, okay? Index funds, they're famous for being low cost. And according to SoFi, most have expense ratios around 0.03% to 0.1%. And that means that on every $1,000 you invest, you're paying literally pennies a year in fees. Mutual funds, that's where it can get expensive. A lot of actively managed mutual funds charge 1% or more. And it sounds really small, right? But over decades, that can drain tens of thousands of dollars from your future wealth. Index funds keep costs low, not just because of smaller fees, but because they trade less often, which means fewer taxes and less drag on your returns. Actively managed funds, on the other hand, come with higher expense ratios and generate more taxable events, which quietly chip away at your wealth over time. That's why most active funds fail to consistently beat the market after cost. Here's the bottom line. Every dollar you pay in fees is a dollar that's not compounding for you. So check that expense ratio before you invest. If it's over 0.5%, ask yourself if it's really worth it. And if you're curious how those tiny fees or consistent deposits actually change your future, plug your numbers into my free interest calculator. The link's below, and inside our coaching calls, we break down for your exact situation so you can build a plan that fits your life without the guesswork. And cutting fees is just the start, because even if you pay almost nothing, the real question is, how does your money actually perform once it's invested. So here's what you need to know. Okay, let's get into what everybody talks about, how these funds actually perform. Index funds are designed to match the market, no more, no less. If the S&P 500 goes up 10%, so should your index fund, minus that tiny fee. You are riding the long-term growth of the entire market. Mutual funds, the idea is that a professional manager will beat the market, but the hard truth is most don't. In fact, studies show that over 80% of mutual funds underperform index funds over 10 or more years, and they charge you more to do it. So if you want predictable, low stress, long-term growth, index funds will deliver. If you want to bet on a manager and hope they win, that's mutual funds. And what most people don't understand is consistency beats flashy every time. If you want to see how your investments could buy freedom, just try this CoSpy calculator. It's wild what small changes do even over time. And we go over this in our coaching program if you're interested. Here's where the real mindset shift happens. How these funds are actively managed. Index funds are 100% passive. No one's trying to guess or outsmart the market day to day. The fund just tracks an index like the S&P 500 and lets time and compound growth do the heavy lifting. Mutual funds are actively managed. There's a team picking stocks, making trades, trying to outsmart the market. It sounds very powerful, but remember, more trades means more fees and more taxes and more chances to mess up. If you want to set it and forget it, index funds are your dependable assistant. If you want to babysit your money or trust a manager to do it for you, that's where mutual funds come in. And if you take anything from this, quiet investing is what builds millionaires while active investing tries to impress. In fact, Vanguard research shows that over 90% of your long-term portfolio success comes from your asset allocation, not trying to outsmart the market or pick winning stocks. If you're unsure what style fits you best, passive or active mix, I've got a free quiz that helps you match your ideal investing profile, linked below. And if this is helping, make sure you subscribe. We drop videos weekly to help you build wealth without the stress. So here's my take. For almost every beginner who wants long-term growth, low stress, and minimal fees, index funds most definitely win. You don't need to pick stocks. You don't need to guess what manager might beat the market. Here's your simple next step. Open an account at a low-cost brokerage, for example, like Vanguard or Schwab. Find an index fund that tracks the S&P 500 like VOO, for example. Automate your investments, and remember, you're not just buying funds, you're buying freedom. So here's the bottom line. Both index funds and mutual funds can build wealth, but index funds are simple, powerful, and beginner-friendly. You don't need to feel overwhelmed, you just gotta start. And if you apply just even one of these tips today, you'll be ahead of most beginners who stay stuck in this paralysis analysis. The sooner you start, the sooner your future self will thank you. Comment below, and I'm so curious, any index funds that you're investing in or mutual funds, I wanna hear what you're thinking, okay? Comment down below. And if you're ready to dive deeper, I've linked my beginner investing guide playlist below. It's packed with simple, no jargon steps to help you get rich. You can binge it anytime and get your plan locked in. See you in the next one. Peace.